Hi, welcome back to the second part of my gradient yarn videos. I had a lot of requests for this, and so I decided to add a few more to the selection. Maybe repeat myself a little bit, but for people who haven't seen the first one, maybe I will add links in the description box for where I got a lot of these from, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. And yeah, basically things that I've learnt using them. So we'll start on the right hand side. Now, these are a German brand. I'm pretty sure they're German. Now, I say Wollfamos. I am probably saying it wrong. Please don't get upset. These are a stranded gradient yarn. And stranded means they're not plied together. As you can see the separate yarns. And gradient means one of those strands will have a knot in it, changing colour to the next colour as you go. So one strand changes, then the next, then the next. So there's no hard change. Now, most Wollfamos start around $40 and upwards. There's quite a lot in a ball. These are one of the standard balls. This is an XXL size. I'll just see if it tells me how much is in it. There is 1,000 meters in that one. So that's the beginning standard size. Next we have Shajeeps, and these are Whirls. There are a lot of colours of these. They do have a ply, so they're not a stranded gradient, they're a plied gradient. Black's not probably the easiest to see. Maybe that. See how there's a twist? Hopefully you can see that. So that makes it a little bit easier to work, because when it's stranded, sometimes your tension goes a bit out. But you know, it's what you get with it. Now, in a whirl, there are 1,000 meters in it as well. So you look at the two different sizes. It also depends on how it's spun up into the cake yarn, how tightly it's spun. A lot of these will hold on to the very, very edge, and you'll have a great big yarn hole. It's quite fun. Anyway, so that's those. They start around $28. That's the general price I've seen them at. Next we have Little Favourites. Now, there is a few places that do yarn cakes that you may not be able to find on the net. And I found this one through a yarn de-stash group on Facebook. I found this one. I also found this one. So they're from the de-stash, so that's however much the person wants to sell them for. I can't give you a price on those. And this one is an acrylic and cotton. Most of these are cotton. This one's acrylic and cotton. 50-50 in the makeup. And there is 1,250 meters in that one. This works up as a 3-ply. These work up as 4-ply. Next we have, now this is a red heart one, which you can get this anywhere you can get red heart. And if you look there, that's an example of it worked up. It tells you what size needles to use. That's for knitting, but crochet is within a half size of what they recommend. And this one, this is not gradient because you've got definite colour changes. All right. So next is the hobby stuff. Now this is a Cotton King stranded gradient. Cotton King 12. This is 100% cotton. We also have this one and that one from Hobby as well. This is just a Cotton King. This is a 12 Deluxe. And the one at the bottom is a Twister. So they did change the name recently. I'm not quite up on why the name changed, but they did change it recently. Next, these are Australian. These are the Oh My Yarns, stranded gradient yarns. These I got from Queensland, from Mean Mother's Creations, and this is their own range. This is the Uluru Sunset, and then you've got this beautiful one, which I think is their best-selling. This one is called Tropical Sunset. One good thing to note with all gradient yarns, very nicely they find the middle for you. They generally put something on it so you can find it. See if I can find another example. Where is it? I think it was this one. You sometimes get a little charm attached to the end so that you can find it. Saves you a lot of time. All right, so that's those. These I find work up best with a 4.5 to a 5mm hook. They are, it's a matter feel, as in it's not as smooth as like the cotton or the Shajeeps. Shajeeps is the smoothest, I would say, but it's a bit more matte, but it gives you great texture for the complicated stitches, so you're not wasting your time. Well, not wasting your time, but you get a better effect. Next is Yarn Art. This is Yarn Art Moonlight. Now, where's the thing there? Flowers Moonlight, apologise, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. I've got to find something that uses all of it though, because I don't want to waste any. Just trying to see. There's actually a QR code there. I don't know, you might be able to put your phone up to the computer and see if it works. I don't know. This one I got off a D-Stash group, so I can't give you a shop, but if you look up Yarn Art, they should all turn up. That underneath is another Wollfamos. It's a different one. Wooltrum, right there. I think it's called Little Flowers, but I could be wrong on that one. That was on a D-Stash, so I can't tell you lots about that one. Hobby yarns, another lot of that one. If you see, that one's a little bit more matter than the other ones. Matter meaning the texture, whereas this one is plied a lot tighter. Can you see the colour change on that one? So there'll be 3 strands in pink and then 1 in blue, and then we'll go 2 strands in blue and 2 in pink and until it comes. Now we're on the end. This one here is called a Lola. These are like the top flight gradient yarns. This one is called Fireball, and this one I got from an online shop called Yarns for All. That's in Perth, WA. Now it's a 300-gram ball, and it should say on there somewhere how big it is. Where's the big? Hang on a minute. Now this one it's got poly in it. It's a bit acrylic. It doesn't tell me how much is on it. It's a 3.5mm hook. No, but it's a 300-gram ball. So I'm sure if you look it up, it'll tell you on the website how much is in that one. And then last but not least, look, there's another one of those with the end on it, which you can attach to your finished project, which makes it a little bit cute. And that one is another Wollfamos. What's this one called? This one's just called the Rainbow. So cool. All right, now the ones at the front. These are the fun ones. You see these little tiny teeny ones? These are the gradient yarns you can get off eBay from China. And you look how small that is. Where are we? It says on here it's 100% cotton, 5% something else. How can it be 100% and 5%? That doesn't make sense. It's all in Chinese characters, so I cannot tell you how much is on it. I'm pretty sure that the listing on eBay did tell you how much was in it. But when they came in these little, like, cupcake holders. That one broke. You could lift them up. And they are very tightly plied. They should come up quite nice. And then last but not least is a Zooper Ball from Shopple. Once again, I'm probably saying that wrong. But this is also a gradient yarn, but this is not stranded. You can actually use these for socks and lace work. So turn that over. Should be able to read that. And then there's a little tiny picture on what it looks like worked up. Right, I think that was all I was going to say. Other tips are, if you're working from gradient yarns, make sure your ball is lower than where you're working. Otherwise it'll drag across the edge and make knots. And if you're working from the outside, put it on a spinner. Then you can pull sideways and not get knots. And that's it.